Well, today I have a local Calgarian. I have a father, a husband, a very big athlete here in the Calgary community, and the founder of YYC Run Crew, Raf Lopez!
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be doing this.
Welcome to Matchup Mile. I'm so stoked.
I'm so stoked. I'm glad we finally kind of got everything and the weather's cooperating.
I know.
Oh.
Thank goodness. Okay, first question. How did you get into running?
Oh, that's a great question. So originally it was my wife, Shirley, who got me into running.
Yeah.
She plays soccer, she plays dinos, and we'd go out for runs and she'd basically just like kick my ass. Like we'd go for a 5K run, I'd fall behind, I'd start walking, and eventually she's like, okay, I gotta start running. And then eventually I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to do duathlon because I did a lot of cycling.
Right.
So I basically got into running as a byproduct of wanting to do a duathlon, and then that turned into a triathlon, and then that turned into Ironman, and then turned into marathons.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, I love it. How did YYC Run Crew come about?
Oh, good question. So a long time ago, in 2011, when I started getting into Ironman or into triathlon, I got associated with Lululemon, and I was a part of their R&D program, and eventually became a part of their ambassador program.
Okay.
Which is an amazing organization. This is like 2011, so a long time ago.
Okay.
It wasn't really run crews, but we started like what was called the Lululemon Tuesday Night 4th Street Run Club.
Okay.
And we had like 8, 10, 15 people.
Okay.
And then in 2015, we started seeing other brands like YYC Cycle.
Yeah.
Soul Cycle, developing like really cohesive brands that people associated with.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't just like going to YYC Cycle, like you wore their stuff and you were stoked to be part of that community.
Right.
And we were like, you know what? Like, I think people want to be part of community. So Lululemon 4th Street Tuesday Night Run Club turned into YYC Run Crew. Okay. And then we saw this big jump in people. It went from like 15, 20 people. It's like 40, 50-ish.
Right. Which is still a lot.
Which is still a lot. That was like 2015. And
yeah.
Kind of the rest is history.
Okay. Did you envision it ever getting this big?
No. I never envisioned it getting this big. We would go on runs, me and like with some of the managers at Lululemon, and they would be like, let's think big. How big could we possibly make this? Like,
right.
If it exploded, what's your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, like 75. And they're like, no, like 100. I'm like, man, 100?
Yeah.
So we never saw it being like this big. And
right.
It's been so rewarding to see it grow over the years.
Yeah, no. I mean, even when I first started, which was like maybe 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it's even escalated from there.
Oh, yeah.
It's like double the amount in wintertime.
Yeah.
There's never like just 10 people out. It's like 50 people out.
Yeah, like...
And that's what we call small now.
Oh, yeah. Like, a few of the OGs will remember, like, Alana and Haley.
Yeah.
Vicky, like, in the winter. Oh, look. We get days with, like, 10, which is, like,
right.
reasonable. But now I think, like, our smallest day in the winter would have been our biggest day in the summer 10 years ago.
Yeah. No, totally. Okay.
Okay. Job application for you.
Yes, okay. Really.
It's like, oh man,
Brenda's
really ready for the marathon.
No speed work for me today. What do you think has made Run Crew so successful?
Oh, great question. What's made Run Crew so successful? I would say one thing has always been inclusivity and consistency. Like, we've never said no to anybody. And like, and honestly, in those early days,
yeah,
it was a bit tough because you get like, 8, 10, 20 runners, and most of them running like, not a fast pace, but like a good pace.
Right.
And it would be tough because somebody would show up and they'd be like, run, walk. And
yeah,
again, Lulu was great. They'd have people like at the back, and but it was hard to be as inclusive as we wanted to be. And I always said, like, just keep coming back, because next week some other person who's doing like the run walk might come, and if you're not here, they're not going to come back.
Right. Yeah.
So there was that piece, and then the other thing was just like, it's always been Tuesday night at 6:15. Like,
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you like, you come to the city or you leave, you come back, you'll still find us. So
Yeah.
consistency and like lastly, we rely so heavily on like a rotating core of just like amazing pillars of our community like you,
Thank you.
who just help kind of bring it along. So
Yeah.
this wouldn't be what it is without, the Vickies and the Alanas and
Yeah.
Seekers and Kevins and Haleys
Yeah.
of the world. Yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, honestly, I feel like that's how I've met all my core people here in Calgary.
Yeah.
Is through YYC Run Crew.
And that's so common. So many people have that
Yeah.
same experience. It's amazing.
Yeah. And it's definitely been something that like has made my running faster for sure. Because I remember when I first came out, like in the winter times, yeah, there were less people. And so me trying to like catch like Emma and Adam, I'm like, okay, we better move those legs right now.
Yeah.
So no, it's been really great.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
With I feel like there's lots of new run crews coming out. What are some things that you would maybe suggest for like someone wanting to start a run crew or like any crew for that matter?
Yeah, good question. Like for somebody starting a new crew, whether run crew or bike crew or a fitness crew, I would think like number one, like commit to it.
Yeah.
Like really don't, do it one week and don't do it the next and just create consistency, because I think that's what a lot of people yearn for, and like people come to crew to hold themselves accountable and come out and run with other people on those days that you wouldn't run.
Yeah.
So like really commit to it, and then I would say just like be open to the possibility of what it can become.
Right.
Like don't be attached to an outcome, because you might think it's gonna be one thing and it turns out that it's another.
Right.
Whether it's in terms of like pace or pre-post social or whatever, like just be agile and like grow with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of going back to like what you were saying earlier with like the paces and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I really appreciate about YYC is because the group is so large.
Yeah.
That it's like there is literally a pace for everyone.
Yeah.
Like in comparison to FFF, it's like 20 people. And so it makes it really hard to be like, okay, like there's this pacing group. So I always really, really like that there is like, just given the numbers, there is a group for everyone.
And we definitely have like the luxury of size.
Yeah.
Because like when you have like 100, 200 people, it's going to spread out and like people are going to naturally fall into their pace. Whereas like other groups, like I think it's great, like, put up a hand like, oh, okay, I'm doing 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm doing 6, I'm doing 7, which is great. And I think you need that. But like, we've definitely hit this like really nice point where there can be something for everyone.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Okay. For someone who's wanting to join YYC Run Crew, but they're nervous.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of hear that a lot.
Yes.
Where it's like the size sometimes, and maybe they're not a runner. Like, what would you suggest? How would you suggest people get out there?
I like, first of all, I'll say like showing up for the first time is hard. And like, I'm actually like a natural introvert. So me showing up to something like this would be like, oh my God. But like the one thing is like when there's that many people, there's always a new person, like, which is why we do the, raise your hand so people can see like, oh, I'm not the only new person. And everybody who shows up at that crew, with the exception of me, was a first for the first time.
Yes.
So I would say just literally just show up, like show up, be open. If you're really daring, ask somebody their names.
Yeah.
But I feel even that, like, if you want to show up and kind of just like blend into the crowd for the first few runs, that's cool too. Like at the end of the day, like I always say, like, or not always say, like I say, like once or twice a month when I do the little preamble is like, if you show up to a group run,
Yeah.
everybody else is showing up to run with somebody else.
Right.
So it's not as though like people are like, oh, who's that new person? They're like,
Right, yeah.
oh, there's a new person, right?
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just important to remember that, like, running's the easiest thing to do in the world. Like,
yeah,
you can run alone. All you need is shoes. But if you're at a crew, you're choosing to be there, and everybody else is too. So just gonna remember that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's why I do a lot of my like marathon training outside of Run Crew.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't go there to run fast. I go there to like. I mean, sometimes running fast, yes, but like I go there to chat with people and catch up. So, how has like running or racing helped in other parts of your life, if it has?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, good question. Okay, I would say running and racing, more than anything else. It's taught me to be gritty.
Yeah.
Like perseverance, resilience. Like, you know, when you're running, you know, you're out there for a reason. But when you're racing, it's like, you trained for this. Like, that's why you're here. And there's all the things like I say to myself, I've said to other people, things like, you know, you didn't train and come this far only to come this far. Right. Or, you know, when you're on kilometer 35 of the marathon, you know, like, you talk to yourself and you tell yourself things like, you owe it to yourself to finish this race. Because it's like, yeah, like your friends, your family, your crew, they all matter. But like, when you're a 35K to a race and it starts feeling like bad, think about like the you that did a 35K training run, or the you that got up early, or the you that like went to the physio and had the injuries. Yeah. And you feel like, man, if you call it in, like, you have to answer to that person.
Right.
And I think that like that mentality has been something I've been able to like bring into my professional life, my personal life, where it's just like, these are the moments we like work towards. So don't call it in. Like, you know, if you're with your family, don't be half there. Right. Or if you're working, like, don't half-ass it, because like you owe it to yourself to be the best version of yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I really like that. So with the marathon coming up, how have you been involved with Run Calgary? Yeah. Because I've actually seen you before at like the Beethoven run. Yeah. And you were announcing. Yeah. That was very cool. But like so you've done that. Yeah. Have you been in other sort of areas with Run Calgary?
Yeah, so I've kind of been around Run Calgary for, I don't know, 10, 12 years. I first met the best race director in the world, Kirsten Fleming. Yeah. We met as ambassadors for Lululemon. And obviously, like, we have our love of sport in common and our passion for run. Yeah. So, started out then, are we going to go down the hill and walk back up, or are we going to turn around?
No, let's turn around here. Yeah. We'll go around here. I did not want to go up that hill.
So started out then. Yeah. And then, you know, Kirsten would ask me to like MC a race, stuff like that. I did it. Like, sometimes I'd be like slated to be the MC, and then a week before the race, it was, now you're the photographer.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So I've always been around and supported, and Kirsten's been a supporter of Run Crew, and as of, I think, October of last year, and I'm now on the board of Run Calgary, the Calgary Marathon Society. So it's cool to be transitioning into a more formal role. I'm on the community committee. Yeah. Which makes sense. Yeah. But like, to transition to a role like that where I can start to touch like other communities and other run crews. Yeah. Yeah.
That's very cool. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, it's all good.
I knew that I'd seen that you did some sort of podcast like back in
I did during
2020.
COVID. Yeah. Run talks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
That was so cool. It was like such a weird time because like Run Talks actually started in partnership with Big Rock Brewing. Okay. And we did 2 talks with them. with Trevor Hoffbauer.
Yeah.
We did with Jessica there as well, and we did those. I think the last one I did was in January of 2020.
Yeah.
And then everything went sideways.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, how can we like keep people connected?
Yeah.
In a way that like just like gives people something, because it was such a weird time.
Yeah.
So we started Run Talks and did that like weekly.
Yeah.
For about 2 months, which was just like, that's a lot of work. So credit to you. And yeah, like those still live on YouTube, I think. And that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is very cool. Maybe with your busy schedule, maybe we can rebirth.
Yeah, dust it off. I'd love to.
Do you have a favorite race in Calgary?
Oh, love the marathon, but have a soft spot in my heart for the Calgary Police Half Marathon.
Okay, yeah.
Which is now the Calgary Police Classic.
Yeah.
Since it's become a part of the Calgary Marathon Society family.
Yeah.
That was my first half marathon. I think my time was like 1:56 or 1:52. Shirley kicked my ass.
Fuck yeah.
She kicked my ass. It was a snowy day. It was a rough day. But it's like, it goes around the reservoir, starts at MRU.
Yeah.
Obviously now the reservoir is like my backyard. But it's good. What I liked about it then was it was like the first big race of the season.
Yeah.
So it was always a very fast race, like tough course.
Yeah.
But fast runners.
Yeah.
So you could really push yourself and kind of know where you were at for Calgary. And like, I think that the way that CPS got involved with the community for that one was just like really, really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you have any favorite running spots within Calgary?
We're here.
Okay.
I would say this is like my favorite running spot. I grew up in Woodbine, so like maybe a 10K run that way.
Yeah.
But I'd bike here.
Okay.
And then I would like, when I started running, this became like my run loop for like the long runs.
Right.
But it's just like, it's so peaceful. It's a perfect length.
It is.
I run with Connor. I don't often do the full loop anymore.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
my like go-to 6K starts at our house, runs along the ridge this way.
Yeah.
Get back home. And yeah, it's just cool. I'm like, the hospital where my two boys were born at is like, they can see it from here. So it's just nice. Yeah.
Did you go out for a run ever when Cheryl was in hospital?
No, I was not. I didn't want to have that conversation. Yeah.
That just came to my mind.
It was like, I could have, if it was summer, we could have walked to the hospital.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
What kind of tips would you give someone running Calgary? Marathon, half marathon?
Yeah. I love that question. Because I get it this time every year. And I would say like, oh man. Tips for somebody running the half of the full, especially if it's your first time, like be humble. Like at the start line, like everybody at the start line thinks you're gonna run like a 4-minute kilometer.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for.
So be humble. And I would say honestly for the marathoners, this is very strategic, but like unless you're like blow the doors off fast. One thing I do is when I was doing Ironman and full marathons, I'd walk the aid stations. I'd like wait till the last person at the aid station and I'd grab my nutrition from them.
Yeah.
And I'd like give myself 30 seconds to walk, just to like give your muscles that reset, because like a lot of our fatigue when we're running is like neuromuscular fatigue. And if you've done the training right, and you're kind of sticking on that like aerobic zone in the marathon, like your fatigue by kilometer 30 is very neuromuscular. So that like 30-second walk break every like 10-15 minutes is a lifesaver. And honestly, every time I've done that, I've caught the people who kept going like within a minute.
I attest to that too, because last year I saw some guy walking and I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Oh, he was like up running past me and then way past me after that.
Absolutely. And I've seen people do like, even the police half, like when I was shooting, like kind of like pacing around like 140, 145.
Yeah.
There was people doing that and they keep passing me. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But like, so it works for half and full, unless you're like a 130, 140 person or
Right.
3 hour person. But like, I did that for my second Ironman in Whistler. And it was like, no matter what, I'm going to walk every aid station, which is about every mile.
Right.
So like every 8-9 minutes. And like, it just breaks the race down into chunks. Cause like, you know, you get your refreshment, you walk, give yourself that 30-second break. And then when things start to get like dark, 5 minutes into your run interval, you're like, I can run for 3 minutes.
For sure.
Like I can last 3 minutes and then I get to walk.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you feel great. And the other side to that is that like, if you feel like you don't need to walk or take nutrition at the first aid station, tell me about the last. Like,
yeah.
Because like, you will want to then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Any like pre-race jitters that you get, and how do you work through that?
Yeah. Pre-race jitters, definitely get those. I would say like the best way for pre-race jitters is like, you know, I usually go for like a 3K run the night before the run or 2K just to like get the nerves out.
Yeah.
I like it, turn down the lights at like 8 p.m. Don't fall asleep till like 11.
Yeah.
And then just be super chill. Like I have my headphones on before the race. And I kind of like, you know, you have your mantras and then a lot of like self-talk. And I think there's so much to deal with pre-race jitters. There's so much power in like powerful self-talk and visualization. Like imagine it getting hard and imagine you crossing the line and all those important things. But like you tell yourself like, I'm gritty, like, and it's gonna hurt. And I'm nervous, but I am like so powerful. Like I'm gonna deal with that. And I'm gonna show those pre-race jitters, boss. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Yes.
And just turn that like jittery energy into kinetic energy and just run.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Very, very good. So I don't know if you've run races before where you were not happy with the outcome.
Yes.
But how do you work through that?
Yeah. Good question. I think I've had many races where things went sideways. Like I've had half Ironmans where I overcooked on the bike and died on the run. I did an ITU long course race once where I spent an hour and 40 minutes in the water because I lost sight of the buoys.
Oh my goodness.
And I got out of the water. My bike was the only one in the row. And this was in Spain. This is like a world championship race.
Wow.
And you know, things didn't go according to plan. And after those races where things don't go your way, like one, you see it through to the end. I've like never DNF'd, and I think that sometimes that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, what can you get out of it? And I'm like, this might not be your day, but like, you are never out of the fight. So like, you're getting across that line, and it's gonna like suck, but like, now you can take apart what went wrong, and you can learn for the next one, and hopefully teach people for what to do on the next one.
For sure. I feel like there's always kind of a teaching lesson there.
Yeah. I've made enough mistakes to like teach and teach and teach.
So, rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
Now you can provide rapid fire answers if you want, but it's not needed.
Okay. That works it.
Favorite post-race meal?
Oh, like a breakfast bowl, like with like potatoes and mushrooms and eggs.
Okay.
Breakfast bowl from like Sunterra before they go bankrupt.
Okay. Yes. Are they still open?
For a short time only.
Okay. What's your go-to pre-race meal?
Mom's spaghetti. Like, not just because of M&M, but like my mom's pasta is amazing.
Okay.
Get the carbs. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What is your favorite Saucony shoe right now?
Oh, I'd say the endorphin speed. Like, I can train in it. It doesn't feel like cheating if I show up to Run Crew in it. You could race in it. And it has lots of life. So Saucony, endorphin speed.
Okay. Are you training for anything right now?
I'm signed up to do the Valencia Marathon in Spain in December. So I'm not training for it. I'm just like not getting less in shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you done that one in
No.
Spain? Okay.
No, I think
You've just done triathlons.
just triathlons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I do it with my dad, so I'm stoked, and my brother.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Your dad runs too?
He does. He's 74, 75, and he still does marathons, and he signed me out for this race. So we're doing it.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Favorite running distance?
Half marathon.
Okay.
It's like long enough that if you make a mistake and you're pacing early on, you're still good to go.
Yeah.
But it's like short enough and fast enough and hard enough that you can really push yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things you're most proud of in life?
Oh, my wonderful family. Like, my family is like my number one thing, my most incredible achievement. My wife is just like my biggest fan, I'm her biggest fan. She's an amazing soccer player. And my boys are just like the most precious, incredible, awesome gifts.
Yes.
Everybody knows Connor, so.
Yes. He's the star.
Yeah. It's his show, not mine now.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you kind of answered this, but any I guess rituals that you do, like, do you need to put on your socks before you put on your pants?
Yeah.
You wear like special things?
Yeah, I think should we turn around?
Yeah.
That.
Oh yeah, okay, let's do it this way. This way?
Sure.
Okay.
It'll be like a mini.
Okay.
So, can I run just Oh, yeah.
Is it okay? We'll go this way. There we go.
Okay, rituals. For about 10 years, I wore the same socks for race day. Like, they were washed.
Okay, yeah.
But they're just really good Lululemon socks. And I just didn't want to buy new ones. So, wore the same socks. And I always eat the exact same breakfast.
Yeah.
Like a bagel, banana.
Yeah.
All that. And, okay, here's one for your race ritual. I raced World Masters Games triathlon and 10K in New Zealand.
Okay.
And
cool.
They were incredible hosts. And as a part of being in New Zealand as athletes, they gifted us the haka.
Yeah.
To do. They taught us to do it. And I don't like show up at the start line and do the haka like a Maori. So I would stop my legs.
Okay.
But right before the start.
Okay.
Just like kind of bring all the energy into me.
Okay.
Into my legs. So that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at Calgary Marathon, if we start to see everyone do that, we're gonna be like, okay,
yeah,
that's Raf.
Bonus points if they know the full haka. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Is there anything that I missed that maybe you wanted to chat about?
Oh man, I think the biggest thing, I think I love what you're doing. I think this is so cool. And I think that bringing people along is so important. And I think as athletes, as community leaders, and as people who've been around the block, I think one of the most powerful things we can do is give the energy back. And I think people who've been sports ambassadors or athletes who are really happy with their achievements.
Yeah.
I think it's incumbent on us to bring other people along for the ride.
Yeah.
Whether it's through coaching or running or interviews or just showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Okay, this was damn.
That was like a training run.
I know.
That's faster than I ran yesterday on my own.